Just a little hint, you maybe should take what do you say it in English? I forgot it now. Wait. Yeah. You maybe should pay a little bit attention, because in the end we're going to play a little game with you to test your knowledge about bubble tea, and there might be some treats, so pay attention.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Our group topic is the bubble tea. Firstly, it's my honor to introduce my group. My group is 3 people from China, and 2 young and Ma and practical from Germany, Selma and Anna. Because our presentation will be including 6 parts. Because it's very interesting phenomenon we have found that the bubble tea is very popular in South Asian or East Asian or Asian areas, but the bubble tea is very unpopular in Europe. So that's why we chose our topic. Because bubble tea is original event from in Taiwan, which is the city in Chinese name Taichung, is invented by a woman, because it's just a private transport for his friends in the family. This bubble tea is popular from Taiwan to Japanese, Hong Kong, Macau, and also from the Southeast East Asia. But we can see that it don't have the treaty in the European or American something else. So we think that's a very interesting of the cultural difference management. So that's why I choose that. And my group member will introduce the details for this topic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will talk about a successful business case of the bubble tea in China. I think everyone knows the cocoa brand. Mostly, especially for the Chinese young guy, you could find it everywhere, in the subway, school, shopping mall. Anyway, Coco opened its 4th store in Taiwan in 1997. Then in about 2005, he went to the mainland of China. He opened his 4th store in the Suzhou city. And in 2010, he entered the overseas market, and he opened his overseas 4th store in New York. And then he expanded very quickly. He now, in this year, 2014, about 1,600 stores in the whole world. And his total revenue could achieve 2 billion RMB. And his best store in Shanghai could generate about 500,000 RMB per month. The revenue is very high. A small store can generate bigger business. I think you are very curious why he's so successful in China. I think the first thing is that his testing is very meeting with the Chinese young guys' favorite. And second is he could provide different kinds of products, and some products are very new. And third, I will say he has very strong marketing and brand building. Finally, I would say he has a very good business model. Like he uses the franchise business model, quickly occupies Chinese market share. Okay, so that's the end of it.
Okay, so compared to the Chinese success story, the development of bubble tea was a little bit different in Germany actually. So I'm just going to talk quickly about the failure history actually. So bubble tea was first introduced into the German consumer market in 2010. And it was actually really interesting to see the development because in the first 2 years there were a lot of shops popping up in every big city. So to give you just like an idea, there was this like big franchise company which is called Q, which you can see on the picture, and they actually opened about 100 stores in the first 2 years, so quite a lot I think. And in the beginning, in particular the younger consumers, they were really curious to try the bubble tea and they thought it was really fancy, so it actually developed as a really trendy drink. However, the first concerns from the Germans arose in 2012 when there were rumors about being unhealthy, being like containing a lot of sugar. So then there was, in August 2012, they published a report about the bubble tea, which got really bad media responses because they published a report saying that the pearls, which are included in the bubble tea, contains cancer-causing substances. So, sorry. But actually, so what was not published in the report was if it's like really harmful for your health or if the concentration was really high. But still, after this report, it resulted actually in a significant decrease in demand. So, which actually resulted then in a lot of closures of all the shops. So just to come back to the example with the Q, they opened about 100 shops in the first 2 years, and until now they closed about 60 or 70 of them. So I think this is like a really high failure rate. So, and to understand this failure a little bit better, like failure and success in comparison to China, we're going to analyze a little bit the consumer behavior of the Germans and the Chinese, and Stella is going to begin with the Chinese.
Thank you, Anna. And next, I'm going to talk about why bubble tea is so popular in China from consumer behavior perspectives. Firstly, compared with simple package, Chinese consumers like colorful logo and colorful package. In China, most of bubble tea is packaged in fancy plastic cups with a brightly colored straw, and it is easy to draw Chinese consumers' attention. And secondly, Chinese consumers are always curious about new things, and they like to experience different things. The bubble tea house in China offers huge menu of drinks from Hong Kong style silk stocking milk tea to Taiwanese pearl milk tea. And the bubble tea may be hot or cold, and the color may be green or black. Even you can brand your own tea. So this diversified strategy satisfied Chinese curiosity. And thirdly, Chinese consumers are price conscious, especially the target consumer of bubble tea is young generation who has limited finances. In China, the price of bubble tea is around 10 yuan, and it is much cheaper than juice and Starbucks coffees. Even high school students can enjoy a cup of bubble tea after class. So bubble tea is very popular among young people. What's more, Chinese consumers are less environmental conscious. As we all know, abusing of plastic materials will result in environmental pollution. But if you force Chinese consumer to trade off between low price and environmental protection, they will put environmental protection behind them. Finally, I would like to point out that social is internal theme for Chinese consumers. Bubble tea house are often a pleasure place for you to have a break from your schedule and relax with your friends. And what's more, bubble tea house often provide delivery service for you, and you can invite your new colleagues in your office to enjoy a bubble tea to build a closer relationship. And then Svenja will talk about consumer behavior in Germany.
Thanks, Stella. Yeah, now I'm going to talk a little bit about the German consumer. Let me say the German consumer is a little bit more boring than the Chinese, so we actually really like to stick to our traditional product, and it's hard to try something new, so we have to be like really convinced until we try it. And what is really important for the German consumer is actually that it is like really healthy and natural, so there's like this organic trend coming up now. And actually it becomes clear that bubble tea couldn't work for the Germans. And we like it simple and with all the natural colors and not the fancy and the really colorful ones. So, and what's more, actually the German consumer is like really informed. So before they buy, they normally like figure out what is inside the product. Is it healthy or is it not? And this actually leads to the fact, what we learned from this case is that the same kind of product could be like really different, successful in different countries due to different consumer behaviors, and there we can see the cultural differences. So actually we think bubble tea could also be a success in Germany if they would do like the marketing process different. So if they mention, for example, the tea aspect of this product more and make it not like this really fancy color like the pink one over there, it could be maybe also successful in Germany. So that is why we would recommend every company or every startup or something to be aware of these cultural differences and to adapt the strategy. And actually we also wanted to get another perspective, so not only from China and from Germany, so we asked the question on LinkedIn, on our group, and there we got some more insight, and surprisingly it was, actually no one except the Chinese really know the bubble tea, not the people from the US, and we also got some answers from Sweden, and they said it's not popular in Sweden because they don't really have the takeaway culture, and they also like the healthy stuff, so that's why it wasn't popular there. And from Canada we also got the feedback that it's like hardly known. Yeah, maybe you can confirm it. And so that was really interesting that because it's like a huge success here, but in the rest of the world it seems not to be that successful. So now we're coming to our little quiz actually, Anna.
Yeah, so we brought like 4 bubble teas, and they really want to be drink. So do you remember actually when bubble tea was launched in Germany?
2010.
Yes. So one bubble tea. And 3 characteristics of the Chinese consumer behavior.
I think 2 is okay.
One more. They want to try new things.
True curiosity.
They can
Yes.
share.
Yeah. Which also fits perfectly.
For you to share.
So 3 German behaviors, maybe like characteristics. Yeah.
So they're still price conscious, they're health conscious, and they're well informed.
Yes. Perfect. Where was it founded? Taiwan.